Okay, let's try that again. This time maybe with a little less not having a mic hooked up. Let's see if this, I forget if this makes it louder or not. This turns up the mic. I forget. I'm just going to leave it on default and hope for the best. Can y'all hear me? Can anybody hear me? Nobody's watching. Fuck. It's hard to test without anyone watching, but this will be the official testing. Last time I did it for about 7 minutes without a mic. Some dude showed up and immediately left because my mic wasn't on. So that's some good stuff. But I'm just gonna be sitting here testing out some live streaming and sleeving this deck real quick. Oh God, 2 viewers. Okay, so as I'm sure anybody who's been a fan of this channel is aware, we used to do some EDH videos, well edited, with multiple people, and played the game. And we were kind of like a different take on what was floating around the internet for EDH content in general. It was a couple of mid-range guys with some high production, and then the big guys, the corporate guys. Oh, somebody liked, fantastic. The big corporate guys who were doing content that just seemed really forced, and we decided to take our shot. Like we can do something. We can do some EDH content that doesn't involve just some of the insane shit they were playing. Everything's foil and all that stuff. So we put up a couple of videos. I think it was like 3 years ago now. I have no clue how long it's been. And we started actually getting some traction. And up until a year ago, we were putting up videos pretty regularly, about once per week. If not, we skipped like 1 week here or there, but we were pretty on top of it, me and my buddy Andy. Now, after the last Commander set, which was kind of like a big last hurrah for us, I'd moved into this new place, and we set up a studio and all that. I've got like that foam on the walls. I've got a camera hooked up to the ceiling. It was pretty legit. But right after we did that Commander video, we hit, me and Andy both hit a pretty hard snag with money. And we were working a lot. I was working like 80 hours. He was working 70, and the show just kind of fell aside. We haven't done a lot of just playing in general, not up until the last couple of months. Obviously, I kept up, played. I've been more playing MTGO, just those Phantom drafts that like for the cubes and stuff. That's been incredible. But I live alone here now, and my roommate moved out. It wasn't Andy, but it was Derek. It was actually that guy, that new guy who showed up in the Commander. Was it 17 or 16? I think it was Commander 16. Maybe it was 17. The tribal one. He was the guy that played the Wizards. So I've been living with him for about a year, but he's moved out, and I'm doing much better monetary wise, or financially, and I'm bored of shit. So we're gonna see if I can't start uploading some content again. I was thinking might be fun is doing some live streams of. Obviously, I'm going to try and zoom in a little better, but doing live streams of sleeving these decks and kind of do like an on-the-fly deck tech. Kind of just show off what I'm playing and like how I built the deck, and kind of go each card one by one, and make it a live stream out of it instead of an edited video. Because let's be real, editing that stuff takes a long time. I tried doing a couple with the Ronus deck I did, and it just, I feel like it's better to just kind of on the fly explain each card. And I think in a long form video that doesn't work, but kind of popping in and watching it, I don't know. I'm testing the waters, seeing how live streaming goes. I've done this exactly once before for 7 minutes, and that was a total disaster. And like I said, didn't have my mic on. I'm not even sure I have it on now. to the one viewer I think is watching right now, if you could just give me a hint as to whether or not you can hear me, that would mean the world to me. I think that's the direction I'm gonna start trying to go with this, and hopefully people care, but even if they don't, sounds good. Thank you, Golden Paladin, fantastic. I honestly have no clue what I'm doing, but I think this is working out pretty well so far. So I'm gonna come up with a couple of decks and do a real episode, probably on my Nickabolts Brawl deck, which yes, everybody's playing. I'm sure it's the first thing a lot of people thought of, but I will be damned if I wasn't going to play him the second I heard of that format. Right now, this is a what's his name? Gideon Marshall Paragon Brawl deck, which I built for fun, shits and giggles. I think he's pretty friggin' good in this format. Just being able to play both defensively and offensively, whether or not you need it, is a pretty incredible boon. Just even untapping your creatures and not leaving yourself wide open to some of the dumb shit that's getting thrown at you. What I'm playing with right now is a Gonti deck and a what's that name? The Samet Planeswalker. Those are the two decks I play most against, and they are just brutal. Especially Samet is just capable of putting stuff that has no business doing that much damage directly into you with little to no effort, and it's kind of brutal. So I think being able to untap my creatures and at least pretend to block and play somewhat offensively is pretty nice. I'd rather build those Boros Minotaurs, but they're like $13, which is kind of bullshit. I was pretty interested in building one of those, kind of like a Boros deck. Like I don't know if you, Golden Paladin, have seen my Avacyn deck on in the regular EDH videos. But that's kind of the direction I maybe wanted to take with it, just some kind of Boros control, because I think it's really good nowadays with how they design red cards. They really allow you to play a lot longer than just the first couple. Oh, I got another viewer, fantastic. To you who's new, I am just testing and chatting it up a little bit. I sleeved up this Gideon Marshall Paragon Brawl deck, and I'm just testing live streaming. I think I'm gonna try and take this channel in the direction of doing on the fly deck techs for like kind of live. There's a whole bunch of fucking cards everywhere. I should have cleared this out. But I think that's the direction I want to go. I want to start trying to do stuff like that. You are alive. I know. I was explaining to whoever was watching just a little bit ago. You're just the two guys watching, Golden Paladin and somebody else. That due to monetary problems, like working, 70 to 80 hour weeks for both me and Andy, we just haven't been able to do anything. Obviously we've been keeping up. It's pretty much impossible to not. They've been just throwing out so much insane shit for EDH. The tribal stuff was so big for so many decks. You can actually play Merfolk in EDH without feeling bad about yourself. The dinosaurs got thrown in. Like, we tried a lot of stuff. We were still definitely on top of it. But as far as making these videos, I can't begin to describe to you how much work it was to do these things. It really does rack up a lot of hours into just putting in making sure you guys know the life totals. The putting up the cards was always a nightmare. And who knows, maybe we go back into it. That's always a possibility. But for now, I live in this house alone now. So I've been looking for something to occupy my time, and I figured going back into making some kind of content about EDH and kind of picking up the channel from where it is a solid direction to go. But hopefully people are interested. Even if they're not, I'll be screaming into the void about my terrible EDH decks and Brawl decks. I'll be sleeving them up, just giving you a run by on, cards that are somewhat worth it, worth speaking about, and just kind of have people watch the process. We can wait. You do you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try doing this tomorrow. I think this is working out pretty well. I want to check this afterwards and see if this is mirrored. I have no idea why my camera is mirrored on what I'm seeing on display, but if it looks fine after I'm done streaming, that's probably in the next like 5 or so minutes. Then I think I can start something tomorrow. I think I'll throw something up, figure out how to make an event out of it, and I'll probably do like I mentioned before, my Nicol Bolas Brawl deck. Hopefully, people are interested in seeing that. From what I've heard, everybody's doing Nicol Bolas, and it was kind of an obvious first pick. But I'll be damned if I'm not going to play it. I love that guy. It's my favorite deck in EDH, and there was no way I wasn't going to love playing him in Brawl. Just for doming people for 7 is absolutely hysterical. They're constantly looking at a fireball for 7, and there's really not much you can do about it in the format. I mean, you can counter it, but isn't Brawl banned now? And there's kind of no point in playing mono blue. I think they switched over to their own ban list, and Copter was immediately shut off, which is absolutely hysterical. I cannot believe that in a format with 2 other players at a potential combined total of like 50 life, you're looking at a 2-drop 3/3 is still too powerful. It is still too fast. They just kept it banned. That's incredible. That card was a nightmare to play against in Standard. Made me quit for about 3 months until they banned it, and even a little bit, I was still too salty. Like, you couldn't play Planeswalkers in Standard at the time. Like, I had multiple Chandras, and I was so excited to play them, and the Nahiris and all that. And they would just, like, you just play them, and they just fucking die. Neither of them could hit. Like, Nahiri could hit a already tapped Copter. Here in Germany, we have close to 0 o'clock a.m. Not be here much longer. I got to get up at, oh my God. What are you doing up, man? It's, here it is like 6 o'clock p.m. So I'm just fucking around on a Thursday night. Wow, in Germany, huh? I follow an artist. I've been following an artist for like someone who does alters of cards for something like 4 years now, named Serial Alters. Thomas, shit, I forget his last name. It's Thomas something, but he does all of my a lot of my alters. I'm actually donating to his Patreon, and he's been sending me a card every month. It's been incredible. I love his artwork. But yeah, you mentioning Germany reminds me of it. I have to like pay him in euros or some stuff. I have no idea. Does Germany not have their own currency? I thought they would, but I guess it's just euros. I don't know anything about that shit, but I'm rambling. Incredible card. Card altering artist. Serial Alters. CEREAL Alters. Great guy, does awesome stuff. Mostly like Dark Souls and like gaming kind of alters and stuff. I asked for all gaming shit. I've gotten a Kirby on a Nin the Pain Artist. I've done a Ness from Earthbound on a Brainstorm, stuff like that. Just fucking dope stuff. I don't have it on me right now. It's in the other room. I don't know. Isn't it like rude to leave your live stream? I have no clue. I'm sure we'll get criticism like we did last time. Man, yeah, we were like a 500 subscriber channel, like just the tiny guys, and I was getting like people to tell me to kill myself. like there was this one commenter who was who wrote out like I want to say it was literally like 6 paragraphs about how wrong I was about running Kezilek, the Great Distortion, the way I did. And that was all kinds of incredible. like you should be running it full blown stacks. Nobody gets to have fun. Run null rod. Just make sure nobody is going to get to do anything except for you. And you just play great distortion, just hit them twice and they're dead. And it's just like, that sounds like the #1 way to have nobody enjoy my show. Like, what, you guys going to like seeing that? I mean, I don't know. That was the one thing I think. That's like the main reason I want to do live streams, is because being able to interact with chat in a way that isn't like typing it out and like just getting like one comment, maybe like somebody wants to speak up, but you know, who the hell leaves comments on YouTube? You know what I mean? I always did a great job trying to respond to you guys, but I'm just excited to maybe see if people want to like watch and talk and like, you know, in real time and stuff. I think that shit is so cool. Interacting with chat is like the 95% of the reason I'm not just making videos and just editing them over like the course span of a week. Like, I'd much rather do live streams just because I get to talk to people and spout off my insane bullshit in real time without Andy telling me to shut up. So well, hopefully it's stuff you guys like. I think I'm a decently entertaining. I think live streaming it would be pretty cool. All right, so we got 3 out of 3 voices in the chat right now saying this is a good idea. So I'm going to run with that. That's 100%. Well, there was one guy that was here earlier and bailed. So we'll say 3 out of 4 think it's a solid idea. But yeah, thanks, Golden Paladin and Zeratol. I don't know how long you guys have been watching. Not this, but the channel in general. I remember there were a couple guys that were commenting that like I knew on like just like on the basis of their picture and their name and stuff. That was always the best. Is just kind of seeing people multiple videos in a row talking and leaving comments and stuff. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for here. I think we were a pretty niche part of, you know, the magic on YouTube kind of content, and hopefully I can carve out another niche and have fun with the channel that we built. You know, you don't want to let it just sit there and fester. I think people will tune in again. So I'm gonna wrap up before I keep talking about shit nobody cares about. I don't really have a deck prepared to go through. But I'll put one up soon. If you guys can watch tomorrow, or you guys can, you know, tune in another time, I'll always leave these up. I don't care. You know, unless it has to be taken down for whatever reason, I imagine not, but I'll always leave these things up. Probably not this testing one, though maybe, we'll see. Just so people maybe figure out what the hell I'm talking about and why I've gone live like 3 times today trying to figure this shit out. But yeah, I'll probably do, like I said, just a quick brawl deck, see, gauge how much people care, see how many people are still tuning in. And if nobody likes brawl, I will easily go back to EDH decks. As much as I enjoy playing brawl, I don't think it's nearly as interesting in terms of deck building as it is in actually playing it. I don't know if either of you guys have played it, but it's very much a little bit more like draft, where the cards are below average in power comparatively, but a lot of the decisions matter more. You know how in EDH, how you could practically, streaming on a Friday may be counterproductive when everyone's at FNM. I probably wouldn't do it at like 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. or anything. If anything, I would try and make it like a mid Friday, like around noon on Friday kind of thing, is when I'd maybe want to try doing it. I feel like most of our views on our old videos would actually rack up pretty much the that Thursday during the day, or that Friday. Those first 2 days were really big, and it was normally during the day. So maybe I have my pulse on the thing. I like doing Thursdays, but I work a 20-hour shift into overnight. So like trying to do this Thursday morning, you're gonna hear some seriously dumb shit come out of my mouth because I will be tired. I'll be getting home at like 8 p.m. Just be like, or 8 a.m. in the morning. Just be like, all right, it is time to do a live stream in like 4 hours. So I'm gonna try and shoot for Friday at noon. I think that's a time that works for me, and a time that like no one's really around the house. I'm gonna be getting a roommate soon. He's been on the show a couple of times, Kyle, but I'll be getting a roommate, but he won't be around on Fridays most of the time. So during the day. So I think it's a pretty solid time where I just got my own like space here and I can just, cram out a live stream. But are 20 hours even legal? 24 is illegal. I don't know how it is in other states, but here where I live, and I'm pretty sure it's obvious, we live in New Hampshire. I think we've mentioned it before, so I'm not like doxing myself or anything. You guys aren't going to find me. You're in Germany. 24 hours is the limit. I work in social services, not social services. Social services. Just in a group home. So I do the overnight. I stay there. I lock them in and stuff, and make sure they're not going to escape or anything. So a lot of it's not very strenuous. It's not like I'm like doing like warehouse work or some shit like that where I would like be dead after 20 hours. Most of my job on my overnight is just staring at my phone for the most part. I used to do editing. That's why it was best. That's why we used to do Thursdays, is because it actually just worked best for me. That was my best day to like kind of get some sleep the next morning and then go record with Andy at his place. And then that was the best time for me to do my editing, was Wednesday night on my overnight. So it kind of worked out that way, but I think I'll be shooting for Friday because while recording at like 6 p.m. on Thursday was fine, recording at like noon on Thursday is a completely different question. But thanks you guys for tuning in. Thanks whoever liked. My mom is a nurse and works 8-hour shifts, and I think max are 12. I think, I don't know. It's different in Germany. You got to remember, here in America, we like to get work to the bone. I signed up for it, man. I love the way my shifts work. I work a 12, a 12, and a 20, and I only work 3 days a week. So, I'll take it, and I get over 40 hours. It's a pretty solid gig, not gonna lie. The job is rough. If I had to do it 5 days a week, especially like, taking care of these guys during the day and stuff, it's really, really apparent that burnout can happen. Oh boy, another watcher. But yeah, burnout can happen. So I cram it all out in a couple of days and just take 4 days off. It feels like I don't even need vacations and stuff because I just get so much time off during the week, even though I'm working myself to the bone for 3 days. But I was just chatting with these two guys here, whoever joined in. This is going to be some new content I'm going to try and put on the channel. I'll be doing some like a little bit like a deck tech in real time on live stream, so I can actually interact with people and people can ask questions and tell me I'm an idiot in real time. This is something I look forward to. I think it'll be a lot cooler than like editing videos. It'll also be easier. Not gonna lie, that's what live streaming is for. It's definitely easier than putting up every goddamn card. I can kind of just do this and show you the Gideon Marshall Paragon that's a part of my Brawl deck. It's a tiny bit of a cop out, but also I was telling these guys I'm really interested in talking to people and interacting with chat. That's my favorite part of watching my buddies who do like other stuff. Oh my god, another viewer. 4 is too much. I'm getting nervous. No. I like interacting with the chat, like real time. My favorite part of doing our videos before was in the comment section, just responding to people. I was always very thorough and always very quick to get back to people as long as they weren't being an abject dick to me and telling me I was a total failure. And even then, I'd leave something. But that was always my favorite part of it. Besides, like doing the real like figuring out the editing. But yeah, we're just doing a quick test with a couple guys watching here, just chatting about what's been going on with me, with the channel, and how we haven't been up for a while. It's been almost a year now, but I'm excited to get back into creating something because, like I told them before, I am bored in this house right now. I live alone, and it shows. My buddy Derek just moved out like last week, and it has already become radically apparent that I need to find something to occupy my time other than playing like Darkest Dungeon, which I've been on a tear on PS4 for a while. It's pretty good. So everyone can hear me. Can somebody respond and just tell me if the live stream is flipped? Like, can you read the playmat the way it's supposed to be? I'll probably use one without text next time, but I still don't know why it's coming out mirrored. I'll have to figure that out. Yep. So it's definitely still mirrored. Okay. So I guess I have no clue how to fix that. Yeah, you can read it. Oh, okay. So it fixes itself. I'm just looking at something that isn't what I'm actually. Yeah, I can read it. Okay. That's cool. That solves the two questions that the two problems I was having. One, I had the mic muted last time. That was a nightmare. Welcome back. It's been a long time since I've seen anything from you. You are good with the playmat. All right, you guys are awesome. Oh, Ice Reaper, dude. Well, dude, I fucking remember you. You were the guy that asked for Mimoplasm, I think it was. Yeah, you were the reason I built that Mimoplasm deck, the Reanimator one. Oh, I want to be right on that, but I'm not sure. I believe you also asked for 2 prayers fighting each other, which we almost got to, but then we ran. You betcha, Mimoplasm's awesome. Oh, dude, did you like that deck? That was that was rough to put back together. I had a Damia deck that was very similar in the Reanimator style, and I kind of shipped everything off. You wouldn't believe how quickly I put that back together, but I had to pick up a lot of the stuff. I was missing a lot of those big boys that you bring back. But I always wanted to build that. I always wanted to build Reanimator, Sultai Reanimator, in the style of like, you just put out like 1 or 2 dudes and then hold up counter magic. Like, kind of do the negate, the what's that? Counter squall, like all of those, like the ones that are just going to protect your creatures from like any kind of like target removal. You just put out something like Vorinclex and the game just kind of runs itself out. Like, loved it. Brings back memories of my own Mimoplasm deck. Yours is much stronger than mine. Yeah, that was half the reason we kind of did the show. That was a good chunk of it. Is I am a walking pile of just absurd amounts of cards. There was a period of my life where I was trading like dual lands all over the place. Me and my 2 cousins would just go into the store and just trade like hundreds of dollars worth of cards with people. So I've just been sitting on a gold mine here. And then like, it was just like, there was a whole bunch of stuff I just had no use for. And because I was only running like a couple VDH decks at the time. And putting together a show where I had to build stuff on the spot just solved so many, so much of that like missed potential. It was really cool to do. And I'm still totally excited to like build stuff and do deck techs, because I was mentioning before, it's a lot of work editing these videos, and maybe we get back into it. But for now, I think I'm going to try doing like, that's the live stream style format, just kind of chatting with people. I think it's really cool. But yeah, dude, it's nice to see you again. Holy shit. See that I was just talking to these other 2 guys. Like, there were people I can easily recognize, because, they used to comment all the time, and it's just, people asked for shit. Yeah, I feel bad that we never did the creators, but I was mentioning, we were really close to doing something with the creators, like two monocolor decks going against each other, and then me and Andy managed to pick up the SDCC promos for the flip planeswalkers, and we decided to run with that instead. And I think that's what turned into Gideon versus Chandra, which, as you know, mediocre as it did in like views, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to play. Mostly because we kind of just grab shit. Like, you know, I never play white in general. Like, I really try and I used to try and stay away from it because it used to legitimately bore me for a long time. And it was cool playing with all these cards that I just never touched. And same with Andy, but he was digging up shit I had no clue existed for mono red. Like, there was that flip guy that like turns all your red source damage like +2. Like, anytime you do damage with the red source, it was like more. And that was fucking terrifying. Like, I had no clue that was coming. He gave it like unblockable or something. Such a terrible card, but he made it work. But yeah, that episode was, having a huge collection helps a lot. If you guys are having fun, then views will come as well. The Hellion is crazy. Hellion. What do you mean? Hellion is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of I'm having a lot of fun right now, and I'm not even doing anything. I'm just swiveling around this fucking chair, talking to people, and I'm already really happy I did this. Really happy I just got up and decided to just fucking look into this. So I'm excited to start doing stuff like that. I'll do. Was it the Red Hellion that increased damage? It was this like goblin from fucking the Red Hellion. I know he's cool. He's from Origins, but there was this goblin from fucking Champions of Kamigawa or some shit. Like one of those horrible flip cards. And is it still up? Embermaw Hellion. Yeah, I know that guy from Origins. He's super sweet. He reminds me a lot of the goblin. I don't remember. Yeah, it was like Akai or some shit. I used to have magiccards.info. Let's see if we can find this. You guys can't see what's on my. No, you guys can't see my screen, but I think it was Akai. Something like that, but he was terrible, and he flips. Yep, here he is, Akai Lava Runner. He is a 4-drop 1/1 with haste, and if he deals damage, just damage to an opponent, he flips, and then, oh my god, it's fucking upside down. These cards were terrible. And then he becomes Tok the Volcanoborn. He has Pro Red, which is pretty cool. But if a red source would deal damage to a player, it deals that much +1 to that player instead. Like, who the fuck runs that? It's a 4-drop 1/1 haste. Like, imagine paying 3 more for a Raging Goblin that like has just kind of an upside. Like, you could pay 1 more and get the Embermaw Hellion, but like, I was in tears. Like, I remember how hard I was laughing. Shows them side by side so you don't have to tilt your head to try and read it. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have Gatherer anymore on my bookmark bar. So I just went to magiccards.info. I think because I stopped using Gatherer for a long time because trying to find the card images for actually the show, the Gatherer images are garbage. They were like 233 by no, they weren't even that. They were like something like, they were such low resolution you couldn't even use them. Magiccards.info had really high resolution, perfect size cards. Like, you didn't have to compress them or skew them down as much just to put them up. So that's what we were using. We were using magiccards.info for the last played card, and then Star City Games we used just for like the little thumbnails on the title screens, or the thumbnails, and those worked pretty well. Mostly just because they were all the same. Like, that was the hardest part. I think Gatherer also had like 2 different size images for like newer stuff and for older stuff. It was just such a pain in the ass to make work. So Magic Cards Info really came through on that front. So plus, didn't they get rid of comments? Yeah, they got rid of comments on Gatherer, and I've never liked it as much since then. That was always the funnest part of being on there. It is just, every fucking creature had Dies of Doomblade written on it. It was a total nightmare. But I don't know. I like chat and comments and people just, shit posting and shit. Like, I don't care what you guys type out. That's fine. Don't test me though. I don't know if that I don't know if I get in trouble for whatever people type. I think that happens on Twitch, which is why Twitch is the total failure. You can get in trouble for everything on there, but yeah, on Gather it was just so much fun. Reading the shit people came up with, like the guys who were always there was that. I remember on Gather there was this one guy who I think he had a name like something like I forgot what it was, some kind of legendary creature. But this guy would complain about every single card, like would just go through the whole thing and write something like so monumentally stupid on every card on there that like people like knew his name. Like whenever people responded, just like, no, it's this guy. Please don't feed him. he's a fucking idiot, and you need to ignore him. I don't know. I miss it. They should bring back comments. Like they said they were going to do it like 2 years ago, I think, and they haven't. Look at this cord. This cord just hanging out. I got to figure out how to zoom this in so it's literally just the playmat and not like all my extra shit. So you can't see my mic here and like my laptop and all that. Feed the trolls. Yeah. I mean, I want to believe he was a troll, but sometimes, man, I've heard the complaints that he was putting down. It was just like, it was just like a more exaggerated version of shit you were hearing. Trolls will always be trolled. Yeah. I don't know. I find that shit hilarious. Honestly, there was this one guy that was going through all our videos for a little bit, just saying the lands are in front on commenting on every single one of them. And the only reason I think I shadow banned him or something, like that thing where he can keep commenting into oblivion, but no one else will ever see it. Like it's just fishbowling for himself. I put him in that because I was just getting too many notifications. Like it was funny. Like trolls will always be trolls, and I was fine with it. But like, man, just having my phone blow up was really obnoxious because I liked it. I liked having a YouTube Studio told me whenever a comment went up, the first thing I'd do is just sit down and like respond to it in the best way possible. Real long, detailed explanations. Like I was giving people like legitimate, like I remember there was one guy asking how to build Maelstrom Wanderer, and I gave him like a full rundown in like 1 or 2 comments. I certainly don't mind shit like that, but like if some dude's gonna fill up everything with fucking comments about that, I just gotta stop him. Yeah. Plus, I love the idea of him just shouting into the void. He can keep going with whatever it is he wants to do. I just don't have to be involved. All you do is make him angrier otherwise. And then they start, I don't know, finding a way to fuck with you in other ways. Whereas if you shadow ban them, they just keep doing what they think they're doing, and they think you're ignoring them or something. But oh man. I think I told you guys I'd be done like fucking what fucking 23 minutes ago. I was like, oh man, 5 more minutes, and that was at like 10 minutes in. See, this is too much fun. Man, I wish you guys could see. We still haven't found, like, we never found a way to make like the camera work from the above. Like they don't sell any equipment for that shit. The best they sell is like some serious like you have to put like you're supposed to put like one of those like $400 like Canon cameras with like the huge shutters and shit like on a pole that points down. There's no equipment for keeping a webcam just suspended in the air. Like there's nothing like that. We had to build it out of, like, I'm looking at a T-shaped PVC pipe kind of contraption with a fucking selfie stick stuck in it. Like that's what's hanging from my ceiling right now. If I like move this around, I don't know if it sways. That's pretty good. Like this looks terrible in the room, but it worked out so well. But it is a fucking disaster. I think I put it up on the Twitter for a little bit. We had it. I was running a AA gaming Twitter, but no. Oh yeah, sure. Like yeah, the selfie stick and all that. Oh man, my favorite was I was just like, dude, I'll go to like Home Depot or some shit. I will build the tape a GoPro to the ceiling. That sounds like quite the rig. No, dude, it's incredible that it's still been hanging up there, because the worst part was like our ceiling is incredibly thin here. Like if you move it even a little bit, shit starts falling out, like the little pieces of the ceiling. My landlord's gonna fucking kill me, but I know him, it's fine. But the best part is I was willing to put together the whole rig and all that, but I said Andy has to go buy the selfie stick, because I was not walking into any given store and buying a like I have too much pride for that. And he was like, dude, whatever. And then he had to like stand in a Walmart line for way longer than he expected. I think it was like a 10-15 minute wait. And the whole time, like he was just like, there was some girls behind me giggling at me. I was like, see, that's exactly what I was trying to avoid. Not doing it. Yeah, the selfie stick like T-pipe setup is pretty nice. We've got like professional lighting and shit. Like we set everything up and then only did one episode and had to quit for a year. Like it's a tragedy. Like the lighting you're seeing right now, that's so much better than it ever used to be on the old show, is yeah, exactly. Like I will spend like 6 hours setting everything up, buying the lighting, setting up the do I sound echoey? Like, is there a real bad echo to my voice? That's the other thing I think I want to know. Because this room is pretty empty. This whole house is way too big for me. But there is a little bit, yeah. See, I've got to get more of those like foam checkerboard things that, real people have. A bit of an echo. Fuck. Yeah. I've got to get more of that or figure something out with that. It's not too bad though, right? Like you're not screaming. Like audio quality is the most important thing to making a YouTube video. If you're gonna do it and your audio sounds like shit, yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, like that's the number one thing. If any of you all want to ever start a YouTube channel, just make sure your audio is good, because nobody's gonna want to watch it otherwise. If your audio is bad, don't even bother. Like no, thank you. Because a lot of people just leave this shit on. Like I've heard of people playing our show in the fucking car, like just not even watching it, just leaving the audio up and listening. And I'm just like, okay, dude. Sure, it took me 8 hours to edit that video, but yeah, sure, just listen to the audio that 5 seconds in Audacity will like kind of set up for me. But no, like shit like that was cool to hear about. But people will leave YouTube videos on in the background all the time just to have like something to listen to. So if your audio sucks, like you're just killing so much of your audience so fast. I've definitely turned them on and just been like, what is this? Like this sounds like a mic from a flip phone circa like 2008. You get thin mattresses from hospitals made out of foam to insulate the room. Yeah, that was like my first idea, was to just get those like bed covers, those foam covers for beds and shit, and just tack them up to the wall. But I figured that would look terrible. I honestly like the look of my like blue and black checkerboards. I might just get more of those. It was like $15. Like that's nothing. It was just more about I thought it would be enough with a room full of people, but in a room full of people, it's not bad, but with just me alone in here, it's pretty echoey. So I've got to figure that out. But for now, I'm going to run with it. Maybe I'll just put like a mattress in here. I mean, you can like I remember when we were first trying to get it done for the day because we were really cramming for that that tribal commander deck. Like I can't begin to tell you how much of like a cram those videos were to get them out as soon as possible. And then you have bullshit like Card Kingdom putting out their fucking video like 3 days before we even got our product, and we got our product 2 days early. Because I knew us because like I'm good friends with a store owner. Q chat. I don't know what that means. Yep, I don't know what that means. But and like Card Kingdom had their video early, and it's just like I'm working so goddamn hard to get this shit out in like 12 hours. All good. Okay. Cool. I guess I still don't know what Q chat means, but all good. That's fine with me. But yeah, no. We took a beanbag chair. My buddy had this enormous beanbag chair, like pretty much the size of this table, and we just crammed it over in the like side of the room, and it absorbed like all the sound, all of the echo by itself. So maybe I'll just drag like a mattress in here and just only use that on like the days I'm recording. I'll figure something out. Well, I'm excited to do this shit. Like I've blown 45 minutes already, and I'm having a blast. So, got another dude watching. Hey, you a fan of the show? You used to watch before or something? I wonder how long that takes for you guys to hear. I know there's generally a delay of like a minute or of like 30 seconds or something, but I don't know. I've never done this before. I think you can set the delay. I saw you could. I saw you could do something, but it was grayed out for me. I'm not sure why. I would prefer it be pretty instantaneous. I think everyone would, but if I could even just go for like a 5-second delay, that wouldn't be too bad. I'm sure that's manageable. To summarize, there was a bunch of people online trying to find a safe place to discuss the plan, but each There's a bunch of people online trying to find the same place to discuss the plan, but each chat room gets turned toxic. Well, that's ominous. What the hell's a plan? What the hell's the plan? Like, are we talking about like people or something? Like, IDK is a bot of I'm confused as fuck. Like, I don't know what's going on. Q chat. I have an inkling of what he's talking about, but we're not going to talk about that on here, or I'm not. I'm not particularly interested in talking about shit like that. No, I want to talk about the only question I want to discuss is whether or not Brawl should just be banned in everything. Because man, I'm a real person. A plan, huh? I have no idea what's going on with this guy, but no, like I can't believe Brawl got banned from Brawl. That's hilarious to me. That this guy just gets banned in everything that's everything but like real EDH, and he's still like a contender on there. The dude is insane. Being able to turn basically every counterspell better is a fucking travesty. You play Commander too? All right. Well, welcome to the club, bro. I've been I don't know if you used to watch the show before. I think I asked you that already, but I run a terrible YouTube channel where we were playing just kind of kitchen table EDH and Commander. You can see all our previous stuff and all that. And I'm looking to do live streams of deck techs now. If you're interested in that sort of thing, I'll probably be doing Brawl made sense to discount. He discounts so much. He's cheap. plus the finishers. I mean, it really was just the fact that he produces an enormous amount of mana for a 2, like, considering the best rock in the format is like what, Manalith? Like that's the quality. I mean, now we have Gilded Lotus, but the quality of your rocks is literally Manalith and then Gilded Lotus, and like that's it. So the idea that like there was a general who could cost 2 and save you way more fucking mana was probably worth banning. I'd say yeah, that had to happen. Plus, just nobody likes playing against like what? You have a 60 card deck. Say you're running like 20 lands because you're going to be drawing discards so much. You throw in like just 30 counters and just a couple win cons. You've got yourself a fucking deck. That sounds terrible. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. It reminds me of a zombie decks in regular EDH. Or Commander, sorry. I'm kind of an old fart when it comes to it. Nope, first time stopping in. I like the casual play venue. Tend to use too many net decks. Yeah, I mean that was kind of my problem with some of the other stuff we were seeing. Like if you were to check out like other channels, a lot of the time like you'd have like a Star City game, like they had their own channel for shit like, you know, just EDH playing at a table, and they're playing like just everything's foil. They've got literally everything for their decks. Like it's kind of like there was no creativity, I guess, in their deck building, because if you have everything, there's basically a optimal deck. You know, it's what's that gaming theory of like dominant strategy? Yeah, no personality. No, like, well, yeah, because you couldn't say anything on there. You couldn't just be like to the deck from the person. Yeah, there was no personality, dude. Have you guys ever seen that fucking Commander Knights? I think that's I think that's the Card Kingdom show they do, and these dudes are pulling some like fucking Game Nights from the Command Zone. Yeah, that fucking show, dude, where they unironically pull the camera out and have the dude sit aside and explain like, oh man, I thought he was going to attack me, but then I had this beast whip in my hand, and I was just like, no, and I like turned it off. Like I couldn't be a part of it. Like, not to shit on other people, but to shit on other people, like I had to exit out of the video due to the overload on the cringe. Like I just can't. I couldn't do it. So I don't know. I couldn't admit. I can't even believe people watch it. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is I mean, we had a little bit of meta calling. Our meta is land destruction, incredibly land destruction light. Our meta had not a lot of blue, not a lot of the classic blue decks. Like I was pretty much the only control player in like our entire meta of like 6 to 8 people. Mark used to do a little bit like the Rabina deck, but for the most part, there really wasn't over like 5 counterspells in your average blue deck, if that. So we had a pretty Commander EDH like CEDH. Is that like the Lab Maniacs? Oh, competitive EDH. Oh yeah, no, I've stayed pretty far away from any kind of competitive EDH. I was just never into it. Like I mostly played with friends and randos at like a couple of stores, and just a couple of people would bring a deck like that, but there was no meta for it around here. No one really played it, to be honest. I was never interested in building it because there was pretty much no point. You know, you'd have just as many people playing extended around here. It's pretty casual. Oh, Kyle Griggs, what's up, dude? Oh man. Oh shit. Let's see. Now there are people I know in here. So, but Yeah, no competitive EDH around here. There really isn't, and even if there was, like none of my personal friends would ever play it. It was meant to be casual, dude. You're supposed to be drinking a beer. Like, there's a couple episodes where we are, where it's pretty clear we've been drinking, or at least I have been. Like, it's really what it's about. It's about crazy plays, playing with friends, and keeping the turns below 15 minutes. you know, um, being able to play a long game that has like a uh, start, beginning, and end, a clear amount of that, and not be over in 10 seconds. Yeah, I never got into competitive. I had to make a meta to compete locally here. Yeah. Are you saying that like you were playing real casual and like there were too many competitive EDH players? Because that sounds awful. I pray for you, dude. I'm like keeping the games under 50. like, oh man, yeah. I've played with people who are playing decks like that, and for the most part, they just kind of like unless they're like unless they have no concept of social cues, they kind of just walked away from the decks, walked away from the table afterwards, or picked another deck just because it's clear no one just had fun, and you kind of can't be the only guy sitting at a table of five playing like your Brea. I win turn five tops. Like that's a bad game, is winning turn five with Brea kind of thing. Like, no, thank you. And in our local area, like those are the kind of guys who play once and just kind of leave. You know, but yeah, I feel bad for anyone who's kind of stuck with like people playing like the top decks, like Doomsday decks and stuff like that. I'm pretty well caught up on it, but I used to pay some attention to it, especially when the Protein Hulk got banned, or Protean Hulk, whatever, got unbanned, and there were like people screeching about it from the rooftops that it was going to ruin their local meta. And it's just like, yeah, you guys are playing a terrible fucking format where like one card can do that because now every deck with green is going to run a combo with them. Like, that's why he ruined it. I mean, I'm playing Protein Hulk to make an Uno with 5 different columns stack. Oh Jesus, dude. Yeah, I think the closest thing I've ever had to a competitive EDH deck was I've played it on the show before. It was a Yahoo Dune like mono black deck with basically every. I actually like these kind of decks. Do not know. I mean, hey, if that's your thing and you're playing a local meta with it, yeah, I went with Uno and Fast. Yeah, I mean, I was playing Yahoo Dune. And just every rock, every draw spell, and every accelerator, and every tutor. Like, it was just everything. I was running Mox Diamond unironically in EDH, and yeah, it would put together like an Exsanguinate for an enormous amount by like turn 4, and that's the most competitive I ever got. It wasn't even necessarily infinite combo. It was just really fast. Like, I've never really played that format, and I've been playing for what? How long's it been, Griggs? If you're still watching, it's been a long time we've been playing, and I never really got into. Competitive. There was no meta for it. But yeah, the screeching over Protein Hulk was infinitely amusing to me. Imagine just one card being able to completely ruin your meta, and it not being something like taking like 12 extra turns, like not being land destruction or taking like 12 extra turns every fucking round. Like, what was it? Profit accrue picks. I have a diverse meta here, so I'm gonna play me. Oh, lucky you, man. I mean, I probably wouldn't have a bad time playing competitive EDH if like there was a dedicated meta of friends around it. I think a really good one. I'd probably just try and play like a mono black one if I could. If not, like just like a blue black, probably Una. Yeah, Damping Sphere really fucks up a lot of these decks. I imagine everybody's playing one, and then like, how do you even win if you play one? I have no idea. Like, imagine Damping Spear actually being good in EDH. Well, actually, never mind. I guess if your deck can't produce more than like 2 mana with your lands, you might as well throw it in and just play around the like sphere of resistance like ability. That's probably fine. I mean, someone at your table, even with fun decks, is going to get fucked by that card. We only opened one, and I think I have it. I don't know where I'd put it, but sounds like a real fun way to fuck over one of the Storm decks. Is this a card game? Yeah, Storm does go bye-bye. Is this a card game? Yeah, this is Magic the Gathering. New person. Reyna, from Final Fantasy V. No, this is a test live stream for me playing, for me putting together EDH or Commander games, or EDH Commander decks for Magic the Gathering. I'm not necessarily going to be playing other people, maybe in the future, but for the most part, it's just me putting together decks and talking about them. Like I've been discussing, Tron gets completely fucked by that card. It is hilarious. What else did I see? Like even like those Goblin decks. Oh, I have a person from Japan and Germany watching this terrible shit. I'm humbled. That's pretty cool. Yeah, no problem. It was easy to get. I'll be doing these on Fridays for the most part, maybe around noon. I'll be showing up. So tomorrow I'll be here. Feel free to pop by. It's some mildly entertaining stuff. I'm having fun just talking to chat right now because you guys you guys just love hearing my shit. Yeah. I saw this live streamer play Dampening Sphere against the Goblin deck, like that's been floating around, and that was fucking hilarious. The fact that the guy couldn't play like Reckless Charger or whatever, that shit endlessly entertained me. Imagine bringing in Damping Sphere against a deck that can beat you turn like 3. 20 years. I've been playing since Ice Age, maybe a little bit beforehand, but my earliest memory is Ice Age. You know, I'm not incredibly old. We're on 25, so there's really no way. Okay, a whole bunch of people are asking questions. Yeah, I've been playing since Ice Age, and that's why I play my lands in front. Is I actually learned from the original Alpha Beta booklets that were kind of lying around, and I never really changed because I don't like change, and y'all can get fucked if you don't like it. Like I am never playing with my lands on bottom. I don't care what kind of rules Wizard puts out. Yeah, so let me respond to the. Do you think they'll pull up? Oh, I mean, they're definitely doing the Commander General or the Commander Planeswalkers. They're going to take another crack at that. They're going to make them not suck. I know Telfari is an incredible competitive EDH general. I think all of them are pretty good in some sense, except for Nahiri. But like they're all very, very stuck to a single archetype. Like what's his nuts? Ob Nixilis is really bad unless you build him specifically like Tax. Like if you could just keep making demons over and over with them and draining people while letting them not play, boom, you have a deck. Cool. Like that's something that could actually work out. Yeah, Teferi is a fucking nightmare. I know he's really good, but like for the most part, if you're not playing like very specifically like ramp or hyper competitive deck with him, you know, he really just doesn't. He's just not that great, except for just ramping. And then you had Freyleys is just kind of catch all, pretty boring general in my opinion. And Deretti was Origins for the start. That's not a bad place to start. I'm sorry if you tried playing Standard, because that's when Standard really lost its fucking wheels. Is right around after that with BFC. Like Oregon Standard was pretty great, and then as soon as they added the fucking fetchable lands, the whole thing just fell to shit. I mean, I loved it, but that's because I had the cards. Like I was able to play whatever I wanted, but like, oh, fuck, for anybody else just starting out then, that must have been terrible. At least for Standard. And then there was like 5 years of Dark Ascension. That's cool. That's a strange set to start, but if you bought any Innistrad, that was like the last set of the golden age of Magic, or the Silver Age, you'd say. Maybe like, I don't know, the last great set. I played, yep, Green Black Elves. I had a buddy who was playing that deck. It was pretty sick. I was playing I shit you not, 4-color Dragon Control. And that was a fucking, that was some of the most fun I've ever had playing Magic, was playing that deck for the first time. Because I didn't really play Standard for a while. Found it was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't play and say, yeah, I mean, Magic is strictly better than Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've never even touched that game. Just because of card prices alone. I think the thing that drags me to, like, I know it's kind of shitty, but one of the things that attracts me most to Magic is the fact that, like, there is real value to the cards. Maybe not so much at the moment. Well, I mean, yeah, cards are like $60. It's fucking crazy. But, like, there's a real reason to have them. Oh my God, I'm so artifacted. I forgot about that fucking deck. Oh man. That deck was fucking hilarious. Innistrad got me back into Magic. Yeah, Innistrad was incredible. Some of the shit they were printing, it's no fucking wonder. Like every EDH deck I start trying to put together, I find myself putting in so many Innistrad cards. My buddy plays a Peasant Cube that's just commons and uncommons, and like for a while he had like 30 out of 400 cards were just from that set. Yeah, Tassiger Control and Siege Rhino. Holy shit. I was playing Teamerai, which was like you had the Savage Knuckleblades, the Mantis Riders, Jeskai Charm, Whisperwood Elemental. Oh man, that deck was so much fucking fun. There's a rumor Bitcoin was started by MTG players. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. People are pretty fucking crazy about the like secondary market and Magic. I'm sure there's a lot of like underground shit going on with all that. Like, if anything, I play the stock market a lot now. And I've gotten really good at investing and all that. And I'm not gonna lie, it's like a gateway drug. Just playing these fucking playing a card game that has real value to the cards and like real prices and like changing shit. I lost a couple of people. No, I think Narset was this mistake, but okay. Are we talking? We're talking EDH wise for the 3-color one, because I think she's a total disaster. But it's another one of those decks that's a total disaster, but it's still just the one you sit down, you play once, and then that person just kind of puts it away because no one wants to play with them afterwards. I mean, in a very, that's probably why it wasn't banned. It's just because it wasn't going to show up everywhere in, non-competitive decks. Fun fact, I actually play, I don't know if you guys have seen my Ruhan Tamari deck that I play Super Friends and like kind of control / Super Friends kind of build. And I would have loved to have played Narset, but I just don't, because it just draws so much fucking attention. It's just not even worth running, even though it's just a strictly better general than Ruhan. Like, I just play Ruhan as a fucking 7/7 fog bank. Just sits there and just takes and just blocks a little bit. Marin Stacks, I only play it once in a while. Yeah. Ooh. Marin, I think, was probably a mistake. Looking at those generals that were printed in that set, it's it's a fucking nightmare. Like just how much different her power level is than the other ones. Besides, like, what's his nuts? Mizzix, who's like just Storm, but really powerful. But another one of those generals that only really shows up if it's the deck that just wins that quickly. But Marin, I don't like because Marin I don't like because she shows up casually and is still really powerful. Like those are the generals I'm not a fan of. Yeah, is that when a lot of people you don't even have fun playing it because you're just playing Storm. Like that's not the point of EDH. But Marin's bad because even like I said, even if like you're all playing competitive or non-competitively, you're still looking at a general that just does too much. Just for how much mana you have to invest and how little like effort. Oh dude, I still have no idea who greenlit Daxos, who let that go to print, and allowed it to happen. I have no clue what was going on with that. He does nothing. He just does nothing. You were putting so much mana into what you can just do by so many. There are so many other ways to get large creatures, even in those colors. Like I have no clue why you'd invest so much mana into just getting spirits. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think they have flying. Like Daxos is so bad. Oh shit! Ice Reaper said something a little bit ago. I don't want to respond. So just testing out an edited Dragon deck. Decided to put it at the helm of the host. That plus yeah. I imagine. That's fucking funny. That's man. Even just one Dragon is too much, let alone two. Hey, Ice Reaper. I actually have an Dragon deck myself. Fucking big surprise there. And I'll do one of these. I'll do a deck tech of it. I actually think I have it together right now, so maybe I'll do that tomorrow instead. But if you're still there, Ice Reaper, I'll definitely do my Dragon deck and throw that out there and see how you like it. Yeah, man. The others don't do anything. It's just like, amen, dude. Just play Derby and Willbreaker. Yeah, Willbreaker was specifically designed for Derby or whatever her name is. Like they must have had that in mind because like it just changed together so well. Oh no. Is Willbreaker the one that works? I know there's Willbreaker and Beguiler of Wills. Both of those cards are insane with her, though. I'm sure. I don't quite remember Willbreaker. I think it's just he keeps taking a dude until he's gone. But I know Beguiler is straight up control it, like gain control of it forever, and it's equal to the number of creatures you control. So you just put a whole bunch of triggers on the stack with her, and then just back, boom, done. Like you just took someone's whole field. Here, Ice Reaper sounds fun. I tried making it casual, but it didn't work. I did. Willbreaker steal creatures until he leaves. Yeah, so he's a little bit more fragile, but still really good. Yeah, mine's pretty casual. I think Dragon's probably the best 5-color dragon general. There's not a lot, but he's definitely better than like Scion for not being a total for not being like hyper competitive and all that. Like you can build a pretty casual one. Mine just includes all of the Elder Dragons and shit. Like I love it. Because mine are all fucking foil. Because I think Dragons of Tarkir was one of my favorite sets done in years. I really can't think of another set that's really blown me away as much as that one, or I had more fun playing in Standard. I think the only other one, I mean, playing Standard, I've only done it a couple of times. Like I never used to really play it. But I think the other set I had more fun with was like the Lorwyn Morning Tide block kind of shit. When I got back into Magic again, like I left for a while and came back in, like just that set is so, the Lorwyn Morning Tide sets are just so fucking good for putting together like 10 to 12 completely different like tribal decks. Like you can just build stuff from packs you open. Edgar seems like one of the best of them. At least you don't want to play competitively. Yeah, I'd say Edgar is one of the most powerful generals that falls into that like casual like power level. Yeah, you're right. If that's what you're trying to say, but I would definitely say like of the most powerful, the fact that he just creates fucking tokens for free is completely dumb. like that's exactly the kind of shit they shouldn't have been doing, but he can be relatively harmless. You'd be surprised at how many. We got one friend that we play a lot with, my buddy Kyle, who plays Massacre Worm in every deck. He does not play without it. He plays only Black and only Massacre Worm, Grave Titan, and Mykius in every fucking deck. So you'd be surprised how much how much it's more of a liability. My stupid phone keeps autocorrecting English into German. Yeah. I have no. That's pretty funny. I have no idea how that works, but it sounds shitty. If you type in German, I will fully pretend to know what you're talking about and just keep going on with it. So don't worry, I won't stop dead just because you type in something I have no clue what it is. It doesn't. Okay. But yeah, Edgar's pretty dumb. What was he? It was another one. My buddy was playing the cat one, the box set cat one, like the front one. I think it's Arabo or something like that. I've got him around here somewhere. And that one was really cool because you could kind of build a Voltron without playing specifically equipment. Arabo, yeah, World of Wild. And he was playing like you put out like just the cheapest cats possible and just beat people for like 4 or 5 in the first couple of turns, play it really hyper aggressive. And that deck worked really well for a while, but unless you're endlessly entertained by hitting people with like a Savannah Lions turn 2, it didn't hold up very well in terms of being interesting for sure. But it was a really cool deck. We were actually going to do a deck tech on it and everything. I think I still have the notes around here somewhere, but that's totally a deck. Like he's pretty legit. Just giving a giant growth every turn is insane. And then like you're doing stuff like you're equipping things like Ojinata was really fun to put on some of the cats. and then like they have like trample +3/+0, like the Rancor and stuff. It was a pretty cool deck. You could seriously play aggro in Selesnya colors for really, really goddamn cheap. And it was very competitive. But I think that was probably, what's the other one? Then you had the Wizard one is just fucking broken. The Evanescence of Wizard General is just dumb. That's way too powerful of ability to be free and non-interactive. Like you can't stop it. Like it's just gonna keep being there. The only thing you could do is play what's the name of that fucking stone that stops everything from ETBing? Either way, like there's really no way to interact with that ability, and it's just so fucking good. And then the Fire Shadow Conjuring, but you play a colorless instead of a red. Yeah, they made it even easier to do. Like you have a free Flame Shadow Conjuring for the whole game. I was playing a deck with her for a while, just playing all of like the Conspiracy, the Adaptive, just all of those like Xenograph, something like that. There's like 3 cards that change all your creatures to a certain creature type, and then you just play regular good creatures, and now you have Flame Shadow Conjuring forever, and you don't even have to play like one half of it. You know what I mean? It's like you're playing like a 3-drop Flame Shadow Conjuring instead of like a 4-drop one and then paying the mana. It was dumb. That was a dumb deck. That's a dumb general. It's just too good of an ability. Yeah, Zeratul. Yeah, that's fine. I'm probably gonna shut down anyways. I'm getting pretty fucking hungry. I did not plan to go an hour longer than this, what I've been doing. But yeah, no, it was a blast talking to you guys. Um, and you'll definitely hear from me soon. I'll definitely be doing this tomorrow. This has been a boatload of fun. Uh, I could definitely see myself doing this a lot more often. I was a little worried pulling the trigger on it because I just thought like maybe no one cares and stuff like that. But I put together like 7 viewers and a whole bunch of like interactions. This is totally worth it. I promise next time I'll actually be doing something Magic related besides just leaving all my fucking opinions, like shouting them into a camera. I think I want to do the Nicol Bolas one first, just for something like relatively easy. Give myself an easy one to start with. It's just like a 60 card deck, and then I'll move up to. I'll probably do the Dragon next. So you can expect probably Nicol Bolas tomorrow, and then by at least next week, if I don't feel like doing this again, like I could see myself doing this multiple times a week, at least whenever I get a chance. Probably around noonish, like I said. It's around the time like I feel like doing it, but it doesn't like cut into my plans in the evening. But yeah, I'll shoot for Nicol Bolas tomorrow, and have you guys all see me there. Oh, someone just joined. Unfortunately, I'm going to be stopping soon. But if you check in tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a brawl deck and doing like a little deck tech on it, and hope it works out cool. I'll put up an event for it probably like tonight and set it up for noon tomorrow. But it's been great. Next time. All right, how do I end this? Just click here. Yeah.